Off Code Unscripted. Man, we're here trying to save some lives, it looks like. Pope Francis has gotten involved. The bishops of the United States has gotten involved. Check out this post on x.com from Pope Francis. He says, let us hashtag pray together for those on death row in the United States. He says in the United States. We're going to talk about why. Because there's people on death row in a lot of countries, namely communist and Islamic countries. Because that's really the only people who are still killing people on death row. I think everyone else has come to their senses in a world that's just insane to do that. But in Islamic countries, communist countries, China, North Korea, Russia, places like that, there's people on death row. But he says here in the United States, we're going to talk about why. So he says, let us pray that their sentences may be commuted, changed. Let us think of these brothers and sisters of ours and ask the Lord for the grace to save them from death row. And then the Catholic Conference, United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, they get behind this. They have a whole petition now to urge President Biden to commute all federal death row sentences. And they say, as President Biden prepares to leave office, let's urge him to commute all current federal death sentences to terms of imprisonment before his term ends. President Biden has an extraordinary opportunity to advance the cause of human dignity by commuting all federal death sentences to terms of imprisonment and sparing the lives of 40 men currently on federal death row. The Catholic bishops of the United States have long called for an end to use of the death penalty. In 1980, the USCCB issued a statement calling for its abolition, referencing the bishops' vote in 1974 to oppose capital punishment. They outlined concerns with death penalty that remain relevant today, including that the death penalty extinguishes the possibility of reform and rehabilitation. The imposition of capital punishment involves the possibility of mistakes. The legality of the imposition of death capital punishment in our society involves long and unavoidable delays. Carrying out the death penalty brings with it great and avoidable anguish for everyone involved, and that capital punishment is carried out in an unfair and discriminatory manner. In the ensuing years, the USCCB has made frequent and consistent actions to oppose the death penalty and advocate for its abolition, including a call on Biden in 2021 to commute the federal death sentences to terms of imprisonment. Furthermore, in 2018, Pope Francis updated the Catechism of the Catholic Church to state that the Catholic Church teaches, in light of the gospel of Jesus Christ, that the death penalty is inadmissible because it is an attack on the inviolability and dignity of the person, and she works with determination to its abolition worldwide. As President Biden prepares to leave office, please let us renew this call by taking action today. So they have this form over here. They want to write, or you can hit the x.com post here to send a message to President Biden. And yeah, man, that's pretty dope. I definitely encourage that you do get involved if you believe that all human beings, as you should, are created by God. And because we are all created by God, we have sacred value and sacred dignity. We have sacred value and sacred dignity that cannot be taken away. No one can take it from us because God gave it to us. God created us sacred. He created us invaluable. And no one can take that away from us. No law, no government, nothing you do, you can lose what God has given to you because it came from God. So we all have this sacredness. We all have this valuable, and we should all have the opportunity to come to the knowledge of truth, no matter how long it takes. And this isn't saying that these people on death row, someone who committed some of the worst crimes, should get out. No, they should, but they do deserve opportunity to live the life that God has given them. And this is a message which church teaches consistent with the gospel. Jesus teaches himself. The woman who was caught in adultery, Jesus could have picked up a stone and stoned her himself because she deserved it. That was the law at the time. She deserved the death penalty. But Jesus not only doesn't pick up a stone himself, he turns it on everyone else, saying, how dare you? You have your own sins. And so the woman walks. He says, sin no more. And even he's given a death penalty. And then on the third day, he rises again and mocks it, spits on it, laughs at it. Why? Because it's not under man's purview to take life. We render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and God what belongs to God. And human life does not belong to Caesar. Caesar has no right to take it because it doesn't belong to him. Why? Because all human life comes from God and is sacred and it has value. So intrinsic dignity and value, right? So so I think this is an important call because we know when President Trump comes in, he's not only going to reinstate the federal death penalty and kill all 40 of these people on death row, but he's also going to expand it. He's talking about expanding the people who come across the border illegally, these aliens who kill people with their hands or with drugs. So he's not only talking about reinstating the death penalty and killing all 40 of these people, but also expanding it to include others. President Trump, I get why the appeal. I get why he's won 3 elections in a row, right? Where's those 9 million votes? I think there's like 9 million votes that's missing from 2020 that Biden got, and neither Trump or Harris got this time. So we still don't know what happened in 2020. So I think Trump has won 3 elections, right? And I get the appeal. But also at the time, we just had to be adults and admit this guy isn't. He's a pro-life. He's more anti-life than Obama was when Obama was president. He's just talking about he's going to keep the abortion pill. He's not going to do anything with that. So on all military bases, and a lot of people don't know this, on military bases, you have retail gas stations, retail grocery stores, retail shopping centers. In all 3 of those places, you find an abortion pill right next to the condoms. So it's really cheap as well. So it's everywhere on military bases. And so that's going to be there. He's not doing anything with that. He's in vitro fertilization. I mean, he's like everywhere anti-life, and he's going to spend a death penalty. So he's very anti-life. So this is really, man, perhaps maybe the last opportunity in perhaps a very long time from now, because I think the Republicans are probably primed with Trump. And then a lot of the young leaders they have in place with Vance, Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard, just all these people. Republicans and, the Democrats are just imploding with this wokeism. And, they're talking about running Alexandria Cortez in 2028. So they're just imploding. So I think the Republicans, United States, going to be in leadership, federal leadership for a long time to come. They have a deep bench. And I think people are just over the woke religion in the United States. So right now with Biden, I think is really the last time and maybe a long time to do something with the people on death row now and save their lives, and gives us an opportunity, those who are in prison ministry, to visit them in prison and minister to them and really lead them to Christ. Because that's what God desires, that everyone comes to the knowledge of truth. And we have a duty as Christians to visit these people in prison and minister the gospel to them. So we should have the opportunity. I think President Biden may be the last president in a long time to give us that opportunity. So we should definitely take advantage of this petition, this opportunity to get Biden to do for these prisoners, these people in death row, what he did for his son, in a way. And I'm out.